Do you want anything from the shop?
Cornetto.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
That's my secret, Cat.
I'm a Jedi.
I'm Batman.
Yes.
It feels really nostalgic to me. Is
That's
it too
the
nostalgic?
point.
Yeah,
That's-
Are people gonna like it?
Fuck 'em.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe fuck yourself.
Why so serious?
The first rule of Fight Club is
Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
it's tricky like that, Jesus.
Life, finds a way.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You talking to me?
What do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
It's spicy. You like spicy?
No.
It's not so spicy. Come on.
This, my friend, is a pint. It comes in pints.
I can get you one.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Real Issues. I'm Rob, and I'm joined by Matt this week.
Hello.
If you've returned from your coup.
From a what?
Your coup.
Yeah, I've returned. Come back. Can't be bothered with it.
Get back in line.
Too much effort doing that all the time.
Too much responsibility. Couldn't handle it.
No, I just can't be bothered. CBA. Could easily do it, but...
Well, I mean, you
I've got-
don't know, do you? So
Whatever.
you did an episode last week, or this week? Whatever week we're releasing this, I don't know.
At some point.
With Guffers.
Yeah, we did. We
of
did an episode together.
The famed Justice League story.
Moan.
Monologue.
Breakdown. Yeah.
It's a good episode. You chatted about Fox, Disney, their little merger.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
I listened to it today. It's very insightful.
Yeah, I think I'm going to write a more in-depth article on the topic as well, and then see... do a bit of research into it all and everything, and then write an article, I think.
It's good, isn't it? I did a little Twitter poll about the topic, Matt.
You did?
Which got like no votes, so it's
Yeah,
not
I
very
was just saying-
representative.
Even I didn't vote in it, so...
Oh, good one. Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Did you tag me in it?
No, I didn't. I can't even find the poll now. Where is
It's
it?
shambles.
I did
Should have the stuff
man.
ready.
It's gone. I did. It's gone. Here we go. I asked, is the Disney Fox deal a good thing? Let us know your thoughts. 14 people replied, so that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, better than
Did
none.
loads of hashtags as well, and that's nothing. Sometimes these things kind of catch fire, sometimes they just really don't. 64% said it is, and 36% said it's not. What do you make
Well,
of
there
that?
you go. Which way around did you say it was?
64 good, 36 bad.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think, as we discussed, people, it's probably not good in every single way because they're monopolising the market and stuff, and that feels...
Neoliberalism, am I right, Matt?
Yeah, feels kind of intuitively bad. But obviously, they're kind of picking stuff up and going to people, you're really good. Here's some money to keep doing what you're doing, sort of thing.
And then give me more money.
Or you've got really good ideas, but you maybe not use them in the best way. So here's some money, we're going to give you a bit of guidance, and now it's going to be good. So, it's probably going to be all right.
They kind of do it the right way, don't they? They just
they
don't
do, yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
go too overboard with like creative control.
No, they stick the nose in where it's needed, and then the rest of the time just let people get on with it and keep making good stuff.
If like one company were to own everything, like it could be Warner Brothers, Matt, but it's Disney, so that's fine.
It's Disney, and that's good. Yeah.
More news, Matt.
Yes,
we've started a newsletter.
We
Well,
have
I
started a
started
newsletter.
So this is going to be a weekly thing that we send around with the latest podcast on, some reviews, some articles, maybe some YouTube videos if we get back into that. And you've promised to do a video a week.
Yeah.
For the entire year.
I've got it scheduled out.
You've done none so far, and it's the 16th of January, so...
That's what I mean. I've got it scheduled out to start
Planning
at the end of
doesn't count,
January.
Matt.
It does count. Planning goes a long way.
Do you do a mind map?
No, mind maps don't really work for me. I just
do you do a list? You list
I
map?
knew I listed it, and then I was like, okay, when am I going to release these videos? And gave them release dates. So,
Did you?
You
got posters, trailers?
No.
Oh.
I've got my little calendar that I made up and my diary.
That's quite impressive. Have you thought of like 50 videos?
No, I've not planned for the whole year.
Oh,
I've
right.
planned for a couple of months, and then I'll plan as I go along, innit?
All right, okay, it's good. Maybe I'll make a video. Even though my
Yeah,
Final Cut
that'd-
Pro's run
that'd
out
help.
or broken, something, I don't know.
Probably broken because it doesn't run out.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, what we're doing is we would quite like people to sign up to that. So I'm going to put the link in the description below, and I'm going to put a little sign up form on the page that this podcast is posted on. But what we thought we'd do is do a little competition at the same time, and just sort of a bit of an incentive, a bit of a bribe.
Yes, bribery always works.
Like we're not going to spam it.
That's Qatar.
Yeah. Russia. Anyone?
At least
really.
Russia have 2 football teams you can name.
CSKA Moscow, Spartak Moscow.
Exactly, yeah. Those 2 from Moscow. At least you can name them.
So we're giving away like a little. Do you know what this is? I don't know what it is. It's your thing.
A little like Thor bobbleheady thing.
To celebrate,
it's good, isn't it? Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity War.
Exactly, yeah.
That's why. It's not because it's
that's why.
Shit that we've got. It's quite nice
stuff. Yeah, no, it's pretty decent to be fair.
Little loot crate item that we'll give away. Basically, everyone who signs up between now and an arbitrary date that I'll decide on. Maybe I'll run it to the end of this week, which will be the 19th. Or maybe give it a bit longer. Don't know.
Yeah, give it a couple of weeks.
I'll put the details on Twitter and stuff, and people can enter that way.
Yeah.
So you get a nice email every week.
You might win something.
A nice email every week with a load of good content and maybe a piece of tat. So, you know,
you can put
it's
on
not
your
all
shelf.
bad, is it?
No, it's not. Don't say we never treat you.
Something else we've got to treat people with, Matt, is book club. That's back. So this is a segment
back after its first time.
Yeah, it's like 3 months ago. So this is a segment that I thought of. I'm literally, I don't know if you're aware of this, but sometimes people, like, this has never happened before, but what I thought would be good is if we all do a thing and then talk about it like the week later. Like a club that you could get together and talk about a thing. Like, I don't think anyone's come up with that idea before, so this is quite novel. So it's book club, but it's not just books because we can do other things. I think it's quite a nice way to get a continuous flow through the podcast. I thought
exactly, yeah. Plus, some books are really big and can't be read in a week, so
exactly. But I did finish a book, Matt, that we talked about. Were you on this? I don't think you were even on the podcast.
No, I wasn't on that one because you were like, Matt's slacking off, go and read this book. And I was like, no.
So the book was Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Which
is what?
Which is
Blade based on.
Yeah, I thought you were asking me.
No.
I thought you said, which is what?
Which is what Blade Runner is based on.
Yeah. It's quite a short book. It's Philip K. Dick. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It took me a while to get through it, but I've had quite a lot of life events, and I've only just kind of got back into reading it.
Plus, you can't read, so
I've had to learn the entire English language and look up every word in the dictionary and thesaurus. So
it's quite impressive.
I mean, it's only like 200 pages, but it's taken a long time.
Yeah,
but it's good. It's quite different. Tonally, it's quite different. Well, tonally, it's slightly different. Like Deckard's like a very different character to the way Harrison Ford plays him, and he's kind of, I can't remember Blade Runner that well because it's kind of a bit of just a long kind of, not boring kind of harsh, but like he kind of questions himself a bit more. I think in the film Blade Runner, like you're the one questioning who he is and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas I think in the book he's kind of questioning himself, and there's a bit more background to the story added, like why these androids need like putting down and stuff. But it's kind of more. It feels like he's a bit more morally not ambiguous, but he's a bit more kind of aware of his actions and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Is he an android though?
I'm 10 pages from the end, but it's kind of like very ambiguous up to this point. But I said I'd finish it because I'll finish it tonight. Maybe I'll come back and re-record this bit.
Yeah, re-record
hey, I did
it.
finish it. This is what happened.
If there's some big,
but also not that against
revelation.
Spoilers. So
yeah, exactly.
To ruin it. But it is like there's bits where like they kind of go into depth about like the tests that they use and stuff, and like the different tests they use, and there's like a different test mentioned that I don't think is in the film. But it's good. It's a good like study of what it is to be human and like empathy and stuff like that. So it's good. I'd recommend it. But you haven't read it, so we can't really talk about it. So we'll move on.
I do also want to read it, so at some point I may read it.
We'll move on.
What are we moving on to?
You've got the running order, Matt. Get the Google Doc open.
I have got it open somewhere. Here we go. Are we still doing book club?
We are still doing book club, Matt.
Okay, yeah. So this is my turn to pick what we were doing for book club. And kind of strangely, one of our favourite comics is The Long Halloween.
Strangely.
Not strangely. I mean, but the thing I'm going to say in a minute is strange. So we both really love Long Halloween, and then for Christmas, you and I got each other a comic by the same team that did Long Halloween, and there's two more that they did together, and I got you one, and you got me the other one, which is quite cool. So we're going to read them for book club next week. So they are Batman Dark Victory and Haunted Night.
That is correct.
So
can only read one each.
Well, no, my idea was that we read them between now and the weekend, and the weekend we swap, and then...
Okay. Which one's first? Is there an order? Does it matter?
There probably is, but it probably doesn't matter.
Because I've got Haunted Night here. It's also based at Halloween.
I've not got...
Oh, this one looks like
Victory.
It's after Dark Victory.
Okay, well...
Jeff Loeb... Jeff Loeb? It is Jeff Loeb.
Probably doesn't matter.
He loves a bit of Halloween, doesn't he?
Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll get on that. If anyone has those books, read them.
Give them a read.
Tune in next week. They're probably good because The Long Halloween's great. Probably my favourite Batman book. I think.
And let us know what you think. Yeah, definitely my favourite.
Yeah, I think it's up there. It's definitely up there. Bit of news I wanted to talk about this week, Matt. Some Marvel news.
Yeah, go for it.
That was the only bit of news I kind of can remember, so it's probably the only bit that's important. There's someone has, and I can't remember her name, which I should do, has been, I don't know if this has like officially been announced, but she's been, I can't find words. What are the words? I'm trying to type and talk, it's really difficult. Announced to be the writer for a Black Widow film.
Which is pretty cool.
She's pretty cool.
Do you like Black Widow? She's good. She's a good character.
I think they could do like a Daredevil-esque. If they go kind of that kind of route, I don't think you'd necessarily do like a Marvel. I think like a Marvel toned one would be a bit
strange.
I don't think it'd really do the character much justice. Whereas you could go quite dark with her character, I think. Have you seen the what's the film that Jennifer Lawrence is in? Red Sparrow or something.
Oh yeah.
Which just looks like a Black Widow film.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like you kind
of cool though.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you kind of need to do something like that, rather than, I think somebody said, who said they wanted to write a comic Black Widow film?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember who said it. I think it was like, was it Taika Waititi? It might have been Taika Waititi or someone like that.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, I think either you kind of got to go like batshit crazy or quite dark.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think I'd rather see her in like a Netflix
thing than a Marvel film.
Yeah, but that's pretty good anyway.
Yeah.
It's Jack Schaefer. I have no idea what she's done before.
No, I don't know.
Google her.
Name rings a bell, but do you want another bit of news actually that I just remembered?
Yeah.
I just Googled. Well, so Leonardo DiCaprio's officially on board for Tarantino's next film.
Oh yeah, do you know what that is?
After being apparently it's set against the Manson murders in 1969.
Okay.
And Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be playing an aging actor apparently, and apparently it's supposed to be kind of a pulp fiction style thing. And apparently there's Margot Robbie's kind of in talks, and there's Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt are also. Apparently also
why is Tom Cruise in films?
Don't know.
He's not like, he doesn't act. He just is Tom Cruise.
He's just reliable.
The only thing I've ever seen him act in is Tropic Thunder.
He's pretty good in Tropic Thunder though.
Yeah, he's quite funny actually, but I hate him because he's an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, he is.
And it really
yeah.
annoys me that he has this persona being like the nice guy in Hollywood. Like people seem to really suck up to him. I'm like, but he's a psychopath. He's a genuine psychopath. He believes that there's an alien overlord or something, or we're aliens, and then the like lizards under the ground. Like he genuinely believes that this weird shit that. No, it's like we're aliens and we're captured. We're like stuck in human bodies or something.
Yeah, we've got the souls of aliens. We are the souls of aliens, something like that.
And then he also agrees to like bully. He's part of this horrible organization that bullies and threatens and kills people for speaking out about it, and that robs people of their money by basically brainwashing them and catching them in this like cult-like thing. And Tom Cruise is a massive part of that, and that makes me feel a little bit sick, considering nobody like ever talks out about it. Really, like people like Simon Pegg. Like why? Like I feel like Simon Pegg's probably quite a sensible, rational person. Why is he always bumming off Tom Cruise?
Don't know. Tom Cruise does his own stunts. He's a bad guy. Doesn't he? Does his own stunts.
No, it's all right then, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I would say Tom Cruise's crimes are up there with. No, I shouldn't say that. No, it's fine. They are bad.
I don't want to know who you're trying to think of.
I was thinking of like all the sex pest people.
No, they're worse.
Are they? Have you heard what people do to people in Scientology? It's awful.
Yeah.
I would say that's up there, but
it's probably up there. But we don't know he's done it himself.
But he's been a part of it.
Let's say he's as bad as the Catholic Church then.
Yeah, he is as bad as the Catholic Church.
They're pretty bad.
Tom Cruise, paedophile, same thing. Move on.
Exactly. But that sounds like a pretty cool cast coming together. I love another Pulp Fiction style thing, so I'm digging that. I'm digging it.
I dig it, my man.
Any more news, or do you want to?
No, that's it.
Move on to reviews because we've got plenty
of it.
Guess you went to the cinema this week. We saw some films and we watched some Netflix. Listen up to our ill-informed opinions and then go and see it all anyway. Because who knows, not us, but we'll rate it anyway.
What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with ones that you've seen, then ones that I've seen, and then ones we've both seen? Is that a good order?
Ones that I've seen.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, you start with the ones that only you've seen, and then I'll do one only I have seen, and then we'll finish with ones we've both seen.
Great stuff. A look behind the curtain there of how we do a podcast.
Yeah. On the fly.
I saw Downsizing, Matt.
This looks like a good film.
A little disappointing. Oh. So Downsizing is Matt Damon, and he is a normal man who is kind of like an average Joe, but he could have been kind of more than that. But he had to like drop out of medical school to like look after his mom and stuff, and he still lives in this like really average house. And he kind of goes to like a school reunion, and there's like people there who are like doing better than him and stuff, and he kind of knows that he is probably capable of more than what he's like amounting to in his life. And then he sees like these people he went to school with, and they've like shrunk to like 5 inches tall, and basically what you do is when you shrink, you go and live in like a small person like neighborhood, and your money, so they had like $100,000 turns into like millions and millions and millions of pounds. So basically you don't have to work again. I think it was like £30 million or something, $30 million in like small person land. So basically you end up like as wealthy as you could possibly imagine, and you don't have to work again. You can like buy the house of your dreams. You can live however you want, and it's great, etc., etc. And it's a weird film in that, in some respects, it's a comment on kind of consumerism and like kind of like consumerism and how we just use stuff and use energy, but it doesn't really ever like talk about that much. It's just said at the start like we need to solve this problem of how much waste we're using and stuff. So we're overpopulated, so we need to shrink everyone down, and that's kind of the opening of it. So you kind of think, oh, is this a comment on how we're ruining the world and how we're destroying the planet and how it's going to be the doom of our species and that's kind of touched upon at the start and at the end, but then in the middle of the film it doesn't mention that at all. And then sort of they use downsizing as like an allegory for like the American dream, where you can kind of go to America and you can kind of achieve what you want to achieve and you can follow your dreams and all this kind of shit. But that only kind of, and then it's kind of a satire on that because it only kind of works if you're like white, middle class already, sort of thing. So there's a bit where there's like, I suppose immigrants, I guess, or without ruining it, who you kind of see aren't living in very good conditions, even though they have been downsized. So it's kind of a comment on that. Yeah. And then it's also kind of part a weird kind of rom-com. And it's just kind of this weird mash of different things and different tones and different styles that just really doesn't work at all. And it'd be much better if they kind of focused on one of those things.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand what the point of it was.
What it wants to be.
Like at the end I was just like, I'm not sure what they were trying to say in this, or whether it was like, if it's just supposed to be a fun adventure film, it wasn't like that fun or adventurous. It was just like, it was weird. It was weird. There's like moments where it's like really funny and you're kind of having a good time, and then it's like, oh no, this is terrible. And then it's like undercut with another funny moment. And it's like, there's a comment on society there, and then there's a comment on the environment, but they don't really like ever explore it. It's just, there you go, we'll just put this in. I'm not sure what kind of happened there, but it's a weird. I mean, it's perfectly enjoyable, but it's just kind of frustrating because it could be a lot better than it is.
Yeah, kind of like could make a comment on something, then shies away from it almost.
Yeah, the thing is, it doesn't.
Or to just almost like forget about the fact that it was making a comment. At one point.
It feels like it's forgetting that it's already done that, and then messages kind of pop up again later on. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot they were doing that. And it's really weird as well. It's been like accused of being racist because the female lead, she was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress. She is Thai with Vietnamese heritage, and she plays a Vietnamese lady. And she's got an American accent, but she plays it with a very thick Vietnamese accent.
Yeah.
And she like grew up with Vietnamese refugees and stuff, and that's basically what she plays in the film. So she plays it with this very thick accent, which has been accused of racism by basically white middle class people write for things like The Guardian.
Yeah.
And I'm honestly not sure if it is okay or not, but I suppose she's doing an accent like Christoph Waltz is doing an Eastern European accent. That's fine, and that's the way.
Yeah.
I mean, she sounds like a person who doesn't speak. It's like pidgin English. She doesn't speak English. She speaks English like someone who is Vietnamese who doesn't speak English very well. And I think the issue is that people think that's for laughs, and I don't think it is. I think her character is very funny because she's like, it's really funny because she has this funny relationship with Matt Damon where she's like bossing him around and stuff, and it's quite funny because she's like this little woman and he's like this big guy, and he's kind of clearly uncomfortable with it, but she's so like strong-willed that she's in charge of the relationship, which is it is genuinely really funny, and their relationship's actually really like the strong point of the film. It's quite nice and quite like unexpected, but like people in our cinema were just laughing at it whenever she spoke.
Yeah, and you kind of like,
I'm like, what? She didn't do a joke then. She's just speaking with a thick accent, and I know it's not her real accent, but I feel like if she knows what the accent is and is doing it, I feel like that's probably sensitive enough.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of it's a weird kind of area where I don't think that if people didn't mock those accents, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be seen as being racist.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah. So I don't think it is, but I can see why. I felt a bit weird during it because people were just laughing. I was like, why are people laughing at this?
It wasn't a joke.
It wasn't a joke. I wasn't like, I didn't find that funny. I'm just woke, that's why. I'm so woke.
Exactly, yeah. You're just such a woke white man.
I did quite like, there are aspects of it like that where, the main character is a Vietnamese refugee, or, I'd argue she probably is the main character actually, with a thick accent. That's quite a brave decision, and it does these quite brave things, but then also kind of reverts back to a kind of a cheesy kind of American rom-com sort of thing. So it's good and bad, and it's kind of you can sit down and watch it, but it's one of those niggling films. It's not like we'll get onto in a minute, Jumanji, which you found a lot of fun. It's not quite like a lot of fun because it's just has these things where it's like, oh, you could have done something with that, or you could have done something with that.
But you didn't.
But you didn't, yeah. So I was a bit confused by it. I didn't dislike it, but I was just, yeah. It's an odd.
Could have been more.
It's an odd film, really, yeah.
Yeah, I think films like that are the most frustrating, though. Anyway, you sat there going, "This is fine," but it could have been a lot more than it is.
Yeah, like it's enjoyable, but I think it's a film that makes you think, which is annoying, because it makes you think from the off, and then you're kind of thinking about it throughout, and it doesn't really challenge you again. Whereas I think if you sit down and watch like Jumanji, you're not thinking about it; you're just sitting and watching it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just having a good time.
Do you want to go into Jumanji? Do you want me to do? Actually,
No,
the next two on my list, you've seen both, so.
Yeah, well, I'll segue into Jumanji then. I don't really have any, like, not that I dislike it, but I don't really have, like, loads of love for, like, the original, like some people do.
I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest.
And I kind of wasn't really fussed about this film. I wasn't going to go and watch it or anything, and really bothered at all. But then, like, at work, I just saw a couple of bits, and I was like, oh, it actually looks like it's got some quite, like, fun moments here and some nice little character dynamics and stuff, and I had some time off, so I just thought, well, you know what? Might as well go and watch it and, can see what it's like and everything. And I actually had like a really good time watching it because it doesn't try and challenge you. It doesn't try and be anything. It doesn't particularly try and do anything new, but it kind of brings in enough, little elements, and it's funny enough that it doesn't feel really like stale. Because there are quite a lot of cliches with the characters and stuff, but they all do have an arc, which is,
good, isn't it?
It's good. And yeah, a few of the moments are like a little rushed or whatever, but there are some like really nice dynamics in there. And kind of the most surprising thing is, obviously, it's about these kids who, they all end up in detention, and then they find Jumanji and start playing it. And Jumanji's now changed into a video game, and they all pick like avatars that they're going to play as, and then they all get sucked in. And obviously, it's that cliche thing that they're the complete opposite. Their avatars the complete opposite or thereabouts of what they are in real life, but they're still the same character underneath, which is quite cool. Like all the, The Rock and Kevin Hart and Jack Black and Karen Gillan all actually did a really good job of still playing a teenager with insecurities, but you look like The Rock or whatever. So it's actually quite well done. Like Karen Gillan especially, she really like managed to nail this facial expression that her like real life counterpart does. That's so they obviously spent quite a bit of time actually, working on that and everything. And yeah, it's cheesy and stuff, but it's just like a good film. It's just like fun. I think like if you're just looking for something to put on a Sunday afternoon, have a bit of fun, I think it's a pretty good film for that really.
Good stuff.
Yeah, there's not much more to say on it. It's just quite fun.
It's not cynical.
No, exactly. Yeah,
it looks like a film that, it's just,
and it doesn't take itself seriously either.
That's what I mean. I feel like things that like Michael Bay and Transformers are kind of the worst example of like action films because they just feel very cynical and very like they're taking themselves very seriously, and nobody else. I mean, they still make it like $1 billion, so whatever, fair play to him, but. Like the reason why I hate those is because they kind of like they think they're, I don't know, they're kind of made for money, and that irritates me. Whereas Jumanji looks like something that's very much just made because they kind of thought they had this cool idea and they did it.
Yeah, it was going to be fun and stuff.
Yeah, I've been meaning to go and watch it actually.
Yeah, it's probably not a film for everyone, but
I've seen a lot of good buzz about it actually.
Yeah, if you just go in going, this is going to be a bit of fun. This is then. I think you're generally going to enjoy it.
I'm watching trailers early on thinking, like, actually, this doesn't look terrible, considering it's got Kevin Hart in it.
Yeah.
Which is usually a sign of something being awful.
I mean, he's probably the worst out of the four. Like, he does... But I think that's more that he's writing, that he just gets a little... He's just really whiny in it for a lot of it. But him and The Rock have quite a good, like, dynamic and stuff.
Yeah, I just think The Rock's, like, not really sign of quality, is he? Jack Black's, like, hit and miss. Karen Gillan
can be really good. Yeah,
I'm not convinced is very good.
No, but like I don't think you've got to be very good in
exactly.
like this. But I think they all do a pretty solid job. I think they all do a pretty solid job of it. So yeah, if you want a bit of fun, go and watch Jumanji.
So you're going to give out your phone number then?
No, not a creep.
Do you want to do what's his name?
what's his name?
I was going to segue really nicely then. All the Money in the World. You can do that.
Yeah, this is notoriously the
Ridley
film
Scott. Thank you.
that Ridley Scott cut Kevin Spacey out of at the last minute and replaced him with Christopher Plummer.
That takes like a lot of balls, really, because like, if he hadn't cut him out, no one would have minded.
No, I think people. I don't know.
I don't think they would have. Like if you said like, "Oh, finish the film now,"
no,
it might have hurt. It might have hurt the film, I suppose.
It would have hurt. It would have hurt the sales. So I think it is obviously. I think it wins both ways. You know, you are going to save yourself some money because people aren't just going to boycott your film, and at the same time you look, good going. Do you know what I thought? What he did was so disgraceful that I cut him from the film and reshot it in no time, which is it's quite a cynical view of it. Yeah, it's quite a cynical view of it to say.
I mean,
that
I have
that's
no doubt that Ridley Scott is a cynical person.
Yeah, but I was pretty disappointed with it, to be honest.
It's been nominated for a lot of stuff.
It has, yeah, and all the actors are really good in it. It just relationships just don't sizzle between them.
Is Mark Wahlberg worth $1.5 million?
No, he's the worst out there.
Who would you rather have, Mark Wahlberg for $1.5 million or Michelle Williams?
Oh, Michelle Williams all the way.
For $1,000.
To be fair,
I've seen all this annoying thing where people are like, nobody goes to films to see Michelle Williams. Like, yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would.
She's incredible.
Incredible actress.
Only retards would pick Mark Williams.
To be fair, though, it's just. I understand where it's coming from because everyone's having to go at Mark Wahlberg, but it's like it was in his contract that if there were reshoots, he could get paid for it, and like if you could push for 1.5 million more pounds, would you not?
If someone offered me 1.5 million quid, I'd be like, yeah.
But the weird thing is that Michelle Williams and Mark Wahlberg are apparently represented by the same agent. So that's kind of on him, really. That he's the one that's not got that condition in both their contracts.
I feel like he could have done more to kind of like. I know it's not necessarily his responsibility, but he could look better by like of just saying right as soon as it came out, like either getting rid of the money or donating it, or what he could do is like what kind of. I know it's not necessarily, again, it's like, it's the film, it's the agents who, I mean, it's the film, really, it's the employer's responsibility to pay people equally for equal pay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, I don't think it shouldn't matter, like, whether Mark Wahlberg has more pull than Michelle Williams. If they're both doing the same amount of work, they get paid an equal amount. Right, if Mark Wahlberg says, I want 1.5 million, fuck him then, get someone else in. Does it matter, like...
You're reshooting it all anyway.
Yeah, get someone else in. Get someone else in for Mark Wahlberg. It's irrelevant. Yeah. But like I've seen like loads of things where people are saying like Mark Wahlberg's got more pull. I'm like, has he?
Maybe in a commercial sense of like an average cinema goer. Yeah, but then this isn't a film for average cinema goers.
It's not, is it? And also, like what also like Mark Wahlberg? Surely he should be looking out, saying like, why am I like? Come on. Like, shouldn't he be like? Can we just get paid the same amount? I know kind of that's quite easy to say when someone's not offering you $1.5 million. But surely it's going to take something like that to stop this kind of happening. But
yeah,
like, I just don't understand how Mark Wahlberg's worth 1.5 million. Like,
no, but I like.
Bizarre.
Yeah, I don't. People are having to go at him, and I'm just like, I don't think it's really him that's the issue here.
It's not. I think he could have probably dealt with it a bit quicker.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, he's given the money to Time's Up now, which is, it's obviously more probably pressure on him to do it than anything. But he could have been an idiot and just gone, no, I'm keeping it. Like that's fair. It's in my contract.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, the film itself, it's lacking something, and it's really hard
Kevin
to
Spacey.
kind of put your finger on. To be fair, Kevin Spacey would have been amazing in this role. Like you don't want to say it, but I was sat there going.
I mean, just because he's a pedo doesn't mean he's not a good actor. They're not mutually exclusive.
I was like, I can really see him playing this role and do.
I could really do with some Spacey right now.
I could with some Spacey right now. No, but I could just. I think Christopher Plummer is really good in it, but I think there were some bits that should have been quite menacing that weren't as much as they could have been.
He seems a weird replacement because they look like very different people. And like,
but like, have you seen the photos of Kevin Spacey in it? Though?
No, I haven't actually.
He's got loads of makeup on to make him look older. Yeah, he looks really old. He's got like a weird haircut in it and stuff. But no, there's just something lacking, and there's this kind of thing that, I suppose I should explain what it's about, really.
Oh.
It's about the Getty family. It's kind of based on true events, and at one point, John Paul Getty was like the richest man in the world because he was one of the first people to help the Arabs get into their oil, I think. So he was just one of the richest man in the world, and it's about his grandson Paul getting kidnapped. And then them asking for like a £17 million ransom and him saying he's not going to pay it. And then this kind of battle between his mum, who's Michelle Williams, and like Christopher Plummer trying to argue this out. And then between the hostages, and then Mark Wahlberg is Christopher Plummer's kind of associate that he sends to go and negotiate the release and stuff. So there should be these all like interesting dynamics and relationships, and they kind of never really pay off. Like there's not the like undermining, manipulating that there should be in that kind of really complex situation, and it does get resolved, and there are these moments and you're like, that would be really cool if there'd been a proper build up to that where we'd seen this coming throughout the whole film, and you're never really guessing what's happened. There's one bit where I don't know if they try and mislead you, but I'm sat there going like, I don't believe that, and then it's like, why is this there? Because we know actually no, it's not even like I don't believe it. It's like we know that's not true because we've seen the kidnapping. We know what's happened in that kidnapping. So why are you trying to act like something else has happened when the audience knows that that's not what happened?
You know what? That reminds me of Suburbicon. That does the same thing at the start, where it's like, it kind of looks from the trailer like it's going to be this kind of mystery thing, and then it tells you what's happening right at the start, and then everyone else is like, what's happening? It's like, well, I know. So what? I don't care if someone else doesn't know. It's kind of irrelevant for me.
Yeah, and obviously you could do it interesting with like, because obviously there's the what's the word? Pathetic fallacy, is that the word for it? I can't know what it is now. Where like the audience knows something that the characters don't, and you can make that interesting, but this just doesn't. And I don't know if it is because of the reshoots or not. Because
can you tell? Did they CG him out, or did they?
No, they reshot. They fully reshot it. The only things they didn't shoot were like extreme wide shots where you can't tell it's Kevin Spacey.
Oh, okay.
So like every scene, I think pretty much they reshot entirely, which is fair play. But obviously, you spend so much time pre-production working on these relationships between the characters, and so much time on set working at the relationships between these characters, and then to just redo all that in such a short space of time. Like everyone acts really well, but then they don't really connect to each other.
Yeah,
and that's obviously lacking. But then at the same time, you've got kind of 6 strands going on all at once. And it doesn't really focus in closely enough on any of them. I mean, it's competent, it's fine, but it's just lacking like something to really, because it could have been great because the story's really interesting. Like you look at the components and you go, this is really exciting and interesting, but it doesn't really reach the heights that it could.
It sounds like something like Scorsese would do really well.
yeah, something like that would be. Yeah.
Whereas I think it doesn't sound like a Ridley Scott script.
No, it doesn't. I don't think this is.
He's good at like kind of not higher concept stuff, but like I don't think character work's his strong suit really, and this sounds like it should be a character piece.
Yeah. It's just lacking a little something. So I don't know. I don't even think I'd recommend it. I gave it 3 stars and said it was average and stuff, but I don't think I'd say to someone, go and pay to watch it. Especially with what's coming out and stuff. And
yeah,
another film that I would recommend to pay for.
Here we go.
That we've both seen.
It's 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
It is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I saw it today, so it's very fresh in my mind.
I saw it. Well, I saw it in a preview actually, like 2nd of January. So I've not seen it. I've not really spoken about it. I saw it a while ago. So
yeah. Do you want to give me? I was going to say, do you want to recap?
Well, I can recap then. Okay. So there's a lady, I can't remember what her name is. This is why you should have done it.
Meryl?
No, Mildred.
Mildred, yeah.
But played by Frances McDormand. Is it McDormand?
Yeah.
In my review, I mixed up because the director's also
McDowell something, yeah.
No,
Martin. McDonough, something like that.
Yeah, I got it mixed up anyway. Who is incredible in the film. So she plays the mother of a daughter who was raped and murdered on the side of the road, And it's like a year later, isn't it? And she's upset that the police haven't found anyone or arrested anyone. So she makes use of Three Billboards and puts signs
Where
up
are the
basically.
billboards, Rob?
They're outside of Ebbing, Missouri, Matt. And she puts up these billboards basically calling out the police for not doing anything, or how as she perceives the police to be not doing anything. And she kind of as she's kind of doing this, she basically upsets everyone, because she calls out specifically the police chief Willoughby, who's played by Woody Harrelson, who's really good in it as well, actually. But everyone kind of likes Woody Harrelson's character, and he's quite a popular person. And you kind of find out that by doing this, she's kind of upset everyone in the town, basically. And kind of as the film goes on, you realise that everyone in this town, they don't hate each other, but they're all kind of like friends and family. And there's a nice moment with Mildred and Willoughby, where you realise that they're not people who hate each other, they're people who have affection for each other, but they just kind of disagree.
Yeah, that moment is awesome.
Yeah, I love that moment.
The tone just changes straight away, really suddenly, but it's done really incredibly well at the same time. It doesn't feel jarring at all.
Yeah, that's the whole film is so this is kind of study.
It's like a character piece.
It is like a character
it's
piece, and
not
all
about
these people. Because I was listening to the director talk about it in the Empire. I think it's the Empire podcast, and he was saying there's just no structure to the film at all. And I'm thinking about it, I was like, no, there isn't actually. There's no really act 1, act 2, act 3 kind of thing. There's just kind of people doing things, and that's kind of all it is.
Yeah, it's kind of it's just a look at these characters. It isn't about finding the killer, or it's not about the mystery and that kind of thing. It's just about these people kind of interacting with each other in a terrible situation while all trying to deal with their own lives at the same time.
And the great thing is they're not bad. One of them's a bad person, but he's kind of mentally handicapped, and that's the racist cop played by Sam Rockwell, who's also really good. Performances are so good in this film. But Willoughby and Mildred are both kind of good people at heart. But everything Mildred does in this film is basically does something wrong to somebody else. If you know what I mean. Everything she does is kind of upset someone else or something like that.
Yeah, I heard as the credits were rolling, these two old people behind me arguing over who was a good person, who was a bad person.
Yeah.
I think you kind of missed the whole point.
Yeah,
these people are just people, and,
yeah.
And it does such an amazing job of making you kind of care for bad people and taking everyone on an arc. And yeah, the characters are just really, really great, and it's just interesting to watch them interact with each other in this situation. I think there are a couple of dodgy scenes of exposition and a couple of weird bits of dialogue that you just kind of
there's a few kind of
weird exposition, but I think as a whole it's really strong with the way that it just builds these characters and builds up these expectations and doesn't rely on twists and turns and kind of a conventional narrative structure to, drive the plot forward and go okay, well, she's put these billboards up, so we're going to have to do something about it. Oh, we found this new piece of evidence and we're going to hunt this guy down and track this guy down and stuff. It's not like that, and it's interesting that it's not, because it could have done something along those lines. You kind of
feel it's going to be a really big dramatic thing with her and the police chief, and it's just not. It's not it doesn't go the way you expect.
Yeah, which is cool.
Which is really
that's
good.
nice because I'd seen the trailer for this, but I'd only seen the one, and I was well, past putting the billboards up, I have no idea where this film's going, at all. But I really enjoyed every minute of it. In comparison to all the money in the world, all the character interactions worked, and you kind of felt that they all had history and they all knew each other, but you didn't need it kind of spelling out for you either. It was just nice to sit there and watch them interact and stuff. And
for something that's so dark, it's quite funny, isn't it?
Yeah, I was literally about to say it's quite funny as well, considering the subject matter and everything. There's still a lot of humour in there. And
so the way that Frances McDormand delivers a swear is it's just a thing of beauty.
Yeah,
As a rancher goes on at
really
somebody
good.
and just calls someone like a fucking retard, and like,
Yeah.
I know it's not a very nice thing to say to someone.
It's not very
but
PC, but
the way she says it is just so funny.
yeah, it's just a really great film. Yeah,
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
What do you think about the criticism about the way it's handled, like race?
I've not read the criticism
Because there's been like, and again, this is generally, I think there's a, do you know Kevin Smith does a podcast?
Yeah.
And the guy does a podcast with him, his co-host. He wrote a piece, I think it was for The Guardian, talking about how it's, I haven't actually read it, but how it handles race. But I've heard people like talk about it, and there's been a few things about it, saying like Sam Rockwell's character, who is racist, doesn't really get any sort of like punishment for that. He gets like almost redeemed from being
Doesn't he get any punishment for that? I mean
he does, yeah. And I see, that's what I mean. I kind of felt like
I don't see it as like
I don't feel like in any way
he also does something pretty terrible to a white guy as well. So
yeah,
you know, he doesn't really get punishment for any of the. I mean, there is something that happens. I don't want to spoil, but something, you know, he does terrible things to. You see him do more
but the thing
terrible
is, he
things
gets,
in the films
he gets,
to a white person.
He gets
a black
punished
person.
for the thing he does to a white person. So the thing that's mentioned in the film that he does to a black person, people kind of laugh about it and it's a joke.
But I think that's. I don't think it's saying it's fine, is it?
That's what I mean. I think that's
this
more.
Is what these characters are like.
That's
is what this town's like.
I think, that's what I think. I don't think that it. I think they're saying that, this town is fundamentally
Messed
racist
up.
and a bit messed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think these are real characters, and that's kind of the way that I think as well. Like he does have this, like he does get put in his place for being racist, obviously at one point.
Yeah.
But I also don't think that. I think that's the strength of the film, is that it paints these people in. They're not just black and white.
Yeah.
They're like
there's grays,
complex characters with. I mean, obviously, racism is in any way wrong. But like that doesn't mean that man is not capable of doing a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't think that's in any way condoning racism. It's just saying that this is who this character is. I don't think it's necessarily.
Yeah.
I think if you're watching that thinking racism is fine, then that's on you, not on.
Yeah.
I don't think every film has a way. Yeah.
It's like the thing is as well that you're saying he obviously does get repercussions for the thing he does to a white person, which he does to a certain extent, but that's kind of worse than what we hear he's done to a black person. Like, because the thing that he does to a black person is, well, I don't think it's spoilers because it's not really in the film. It's mentioned quite early on that he, apparently tortured a black person that he had in custody and to get evidence out of him. And you think, well, that's kind of a thing that you could potentially cover up or whatever because it was in custody and stuff. Like, the thing you just to a white person is just for no reason other than he's angry and upset and stuff, and so the repercussions are there because there's literally no way you could get away with it without repercussions. Whereas the racist thing you does to a black person, you could potentially sweep under the rug or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't see it as condoning it at all. I think that's the kind of problem with these things, that people just find problems with like every tiny insignificant little detail because I don't know, it's fun too. I don't know.
I can kind of understand it.
It just doesn't really make sense
as white
to me.
people, we're not really qualified to talk about racial issues, but like I can kind of see, because parts of it did make me feel a little bit uncomfortable where they were kind of just laughing about it, and I was like, is that?
But that's the point, though, isn't it? It's
supposed to make
as a
you
normal
uncomfortable.
person, you're supposed to feel uncomfortable because you're like, God, these guys are the police and they're terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they're laughing about this. And do you know what? I'm sure there are people there are small town police stations in America that are exactly like that.
Yeah,
that laugh about torturing black people in custody. Like almost in a way, not having it in the film is just turning a blind eye to it. It's like Tarantino always says, like, I'm not a racist. My characters are. And that's why they say the N-word, because they're racist, and racist people say the N-word. It's like, you have every right to write a racist character, or write racist characters, or a racist community. That's what that community is. It doesn't mean it's the opinion of the filmmaker. It's just them going, there are places like this, and it's horrible, and it's not very nice. And I don't think you're supposed to come out of this film thinking anyone's a nice person in this film.
Yeah, even though it is weirdly uplifting. Even though
it is. Yeah,
and
but the characters are complex. You go, even like Frances McDormand, you go in. She's the main character, and you think, oh, she's on this, quest for righteousness and stuff, and you kind of really behind her with what she wants to achieve. But then she does some terrible things in this film.
Yeah,
and that's just the way this film is.
Yeah, it's about sort of simple people, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all idiots. Like small town America. Like, yeah. It literally did not cross my mind as I was watching the film. So,
yeah, I didn't until afterwards. Then you sort of think about it, but I guess I don't know. But it's good. It is good.
It's very good. Yeah, spend your money on that.
Spend your money on that. Black Mirror.
I've watched first two episodes of the new series. You watched them all now?
I watched. No, I've got the last one left to watch.
Oh, okay.
So we can talk about the first two?
Yeah, we'll talk about the first two.
First one, USS Callister.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say Calvin then, but that's actual Star Trek, isn't it?
Actual Star Trek.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' granddad or something? Kelvin?
Is it?
Yeah, he has, Kelvin's mentioned in all of his films.
Oh, that's cool.
So The Force Awakens is a bit where she's, by Kelvin Ridge.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Good little bit of knowledge for you.
Yeah, didn't know that. Save
that for a pub quiz.
Yeah, definitely. What's episode 1, Rob? What
episode 1,
USS Calvin?
I don't want to. I don't really want to ruin it.
No, I don't.
So it's about a man played by what's his name from Breaking Bad, Jesse.
Yeah. Something.
Jesse Pink. No, is it Jesse?
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
It is Jesse, but there's also Jesse in Breaking Bad, so I'm going to mix up their names. So he's like a VR designer thing. So it's kind of a version of VR that they've got, but it's basically in your head rather than you put a headset on. So he works for this he's invented this new kind of world MMO game sort of thing that's really popular, and
Infinity it's called.
It's called Infinity, yeah. And I'm going to have to go into minor. Should we just say spoilers for these first two episodes? Because
yeah, I say minor spoilers just in case. So if you don't want to know anything, then
I'm going to say full spoilers because I think that's the only way you can talk about these episodes.
Oh, okay.
Full spoilers. So he is this guy who works in this company that he kind of founded with presumably someone who is his friend or was his friend at a point.
At some point.
And so he's designed this game, and basically what he's done is he's created his own mod of the game based on his favourite TV show, which is Star. I can't remember what it's called.
Starfleet.
Starfleet, that's it, yeah.
Or Space Fleet or something.
Space Fleet, yeah. So it's basically a Star Trek, obviously rip-off. So he's made his own mod, but then what he's also done, you find out later on, creepily, that he has taken DNA from his co-workers for whatever reason. Maybe he fancies them or he hates them and he wants to punish them. He takes their DNA and can somehow put them in the game, and they're kind of sentient and self-aware. So it's kind of this, and they once they're in the game, they're kind of always in the game. They can't escape. I don't think they can sleep. They can't go to the toilet or anything. They're just kind of there all the time in this kind of prison. But it's really creepy. I really enjoyed this episode, actually. I thought it was.
I did, yeah.
It was really good. So it's basically kind of about people. The characters they're kind of aware that they're in the game.
Yeah, they're definitely aware. Yeah, they know they're in the game and they know that the trap's there and everything.
And he's basically God because he writes the game and he can do whatever he wants. So it's about them trying to get out of the game, basically.
Yeah. I thought it was really good. Yeah, really enjoyed the dynamics of, at first you think he's this kind of quite sweet, just a bit lonely, a bit introverted guy, but then actually kind of turns out to be a bit mental.
Yeah.
But then at the same time I'm still thinking he's got this sadistic side to him, but at the same time, maybe he's just seeing it as, oh, they're not real, like they're just in a game sort of thing. Even though he knows they're sentient, he's like, I'm not actually doing harm to a real person.
I think that's a good thing, though. I think like the thing is like you're not sure if they're sentient or if it's just like a program.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so it's kind of this thing that.
But I suppose you kind of do know, but.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily think he's like a terrible person.
Yeah.
Because we've all walked around GTA with a machine gun, like mowing people down. Do you know what I mean? In the future, this could be, the equivalent of that.
Yeah.
And so it's this kind of, you obviously come to think he's a sadistic, like psychopath. But afterwards, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, technically, it was kind of just a game. He was only doing that stuff to a computer program, and yet maybe he was getting enjoyment out of it, out of torturing them,
but he's not doing it in real life, so that's fine.
And stuff like that. But people do weird stuff in games all the time, people.
Yeah, and you kind of see that's not really. Well, I suppose it kind of does impact on his everyday life a bit, but it's kind of weird when you see him back in the office and like the dynamics totally change. He's like a totally different person. It's just
exactly
it's really interesting. That look at kind of. What I like about this series of Black Mirror is that it's not really, or a particular, mainly this episode actually, it's not like about one particular thing. Like in the past, they've been about like one thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this episode kind of covers loads of different things, like what your internet kind of persona is and stuff, and like consent of like using bodily fluid. Like there's so many different things to think about in this episode. Like the more you think about it, the more there is to be like. Oh yeah, that was bad, or that is that bad? Is that good? Like I genuinely don't know. Like whereas in the past, it's always been quite critical of everything that it's done an episode on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whereas this
it's a bit more ambiguous.
Yeah, which is cool.
But I really enjoyed this episode. It's probably one of my favorite ones actually.
Yeah, I think stylistically it was really cool as well.
And it was shot really nicely. And like, second episode was that the Archangel. I was not a fan of this one.
I was a fan of the concept. I just found it a bit predictable.
It was like nothing. It was boring. And it's like as soon as it started, you could pretty much beat for beat tell where that was going. And that's kind of a bit disappointing.
Yeah, especially with the Black Mirror thing. Yeah, I mean, I think it was effective in certain areas and stuff, and it raised interesting questions about the this kind of issue of. Parental control and parental kind of monitoring of children and stuff. And basically it's, this mother decided there's this trial running of putting a chip in your child's brain so you can monitor them 24/7. You know where they are. You can see what they see. You can filter things in and out. But then from that basis, you can then imagine exactly where it's going to go. And the question of, if we control them so much, at some point they're going to rebel, and then you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to stop monitoring them, but at some point you're going to go back to monitoring them, and they're going to find out. And it was just very predictable. I don't think it was badly made.
No, I don't think it's bad
or
at all.
badly written. You just kind of expect a little bit more from something that's had a prime minister have sex with a pig.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It didn't quite sort of. It felt like one they just kind of churned out.
Yeah, it didn't
thought about in any detail, really.
Yeah, it didn't kind of really ask or make a point on anything that in a new light. It was just kind of, that's interesting, but take it to another level. Like,
I didn't think the characters are particularly. Because there's some kind of Black Mirror episodes where it's a very simple concept, but the characters are so good that it kind of...
Yeah.
It's like the one with Domhnall Gleeson in, and what's the name from Agent Carter?
Yeah.
Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
It's quite a simple concept, but it's it's pretty much just character based.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't really care about the characters in this. I was just like, okay, fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just doing something else now. That's okay. I'm not really that bothered about what you're doing.
Yeah, I found myself drifting off when watching this one. Do you know what I mean? Like I'd just go on my phone for a few minutes and then come back and be like, all right, well, yeah, I've not missed anything. So
yeah, I agree. I wasn't fussed on it.
No. How's the rest of the season?
How many episodes are there?
I'm not sure.
I'll find this. I think the Callister one's been my favourite so far. There is another one which is kind of similar to Archangel. Where is it? Where are we? It's Jesse Plemons, that's his name. Not Jesse Pinkman's the name of the guy in Breaking Bad, isn't it?
Yeah, Jesse Pinkman, yeah.
Yeah, Archangel I wasn't bothered about. There's one called Crocodile, which is kind of bizarre. Like, I just wasn't. It didn't do anything interesting. It was just like, this is just. It was kind of a similar sort of thing, really, where it kind of had a premise and then didn't really surprise you or move away from that premise at all to tell you anything that you didn't really already know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a comment on something, but I won't spoil it because you've not seen it. But I suppose it's kind of actually kind of the more I think about it, the more I kind of do like it, but I just wasn't really like attached to the character. There's another one, Hanging the DJ is really good. I really enjoyed that. That's kind of one of the nice ones.
Yeah.
So
the ones where you don't want to come away wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's kind of similar to the San Junipero one from last season.
Oh yeah,
which I thought was really good. And then there's Metalhead as well, which I wasn't asked about at all. Like, I think these things are so much better when they have a message they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
Or kind of, I mean, I don't know. I just said the opposite for USS Callister, but there's somewhere there's kind of
but
like
just something that makes you think.
Yeah, there's somewhere I'm just like, I'm not thinking about this at all. I'm just like, okay, I don't really know what you're doing with this. And then I've still got Black Museum to watch, which is supposed to be quite good. So I'll get on that at some point. But yeah, it's half decent season. Like, I don't think there's anything that's kind of hit me as hard as the was it Shut Up and Dance?
Yeah.
That made me feel like physically sick.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed like Playtest. Nosedive. Actually, to be fair, some of them are kind of similar to Nosedive, where it's just like a thing. I'm not really that bothered about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I think it's probably on par with last season, maybe, where there's somewhere I really like, some which I'm not too fussed about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch the rest of them, and we can maybe do an episode on the season as a whole, maybe, or
we'll do
just
that.
chat about them more when I've seen the rest of them and stuff. Maybe next episode or whatever. Is that it for reviews?
That's it for reviews.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and try and see the Darkest Hour at some point.
Yeah, I've got tickets for the Post on Friday actually. So.
Oh yeah, the Post. Yeah, I might go and try and check that out. May go and watch Early Man, the new one from Aardman, if I can be bothered.
What's that?
The claymation one from
Aardman. Oh, okay, yeah.
If I can be bothered.
Siebes.
But yeah, we'll have some stuff to review, I'm sure.
Oscar season, isn't it? So.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But it's time for your favourite part of the show.
Quiz time.
IMDb quiz. This is the part where I read out the filmography of certain actors, actresses, maybe directors, producers, writers, and you have to guess who it is based on what they've done, and then you have to pick a link between all of the people.
Pick a link, not guess a link. I've just got to pick one.
You got to pick one. If it fits, it's fine.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the first person?
I am indeed.
I've just got IMDb up because I don't have time to write it out, so I'm just going to.
You an idiot.
Here we go. In a minute. 1 second. The Help.
Don't know. Give me the next one.
Lawless.
I feel like I know.
You can guess.
No, go on.
As many times as you want, Matt. You might as well
Yeah,
guess.
no. Give me
You don't want to seem
one.
like an idiot. Too scared.
Yeah.
Chicken.
Yeah, too scared.
A most violent year.
Oh no, that's completely thrown me. Most violent year. I honestly, I can't think who's in that. Who's in that film? How many films you doing?
5. Is that 3?
5. Yeah. Go on. One more.
Interstellar.
What? Interstellar. This is really hard. This is a hard one.
I mean, she's quite prominent. Like she gets.
She.
Oh,
wait,
damn it!
See, tricking you.
Dummy. This person gets more prominent. Like the
Jessica
way
Chastain.
Yeah. I usually pick the films that they're more prominent in later on.
Yeah.
So.
I forgot she was in Interstellar. To be fair.
Even though she's the main character.
But I was trying to think what females are in Interstellar, and I knew it wasn't Anne Hathaway from the other one, so I remembered she was in it.
Well done. Next person. Sophie's Choice.
Don't
know why I went first for that one, but
yeah, it's a bit of a random one. No, give me the next one.
Trying to find something you will have seen. A Series of Unfortunate Events, 2004.
Meryl Streep?
Yeah, it is Meryl Streep.
Done it. I was thinking of Meryl Streep actually when you said, but then you said, oh, you don't usually do when they're the main person.
Yeah, I know, I made a mistake.
She's the main character in that one, so.
I'm doing it in chronological order for some reason. Well, I'm not supposed to be, but I am because I'm just reading off IMDb.
She's being lazy.
Yeah, being lazy. Next person. Oh god, this person's got some obscure.
Don't go too obscure.
I know, I'm trying not to, but I don't know how many. Brokeback Mountain.
Michelle Williams.
Oh, he's done it in one.
Oh, did I? Yes. Dude.
Well done, Matt. Is that the first time you've done it in one?
No.
Yeah, I think it is.
Boss.
Next person. Dun, dun. You're going to get this one really easily, I think. I need to pick one more recent. Talk amongst yourselves. Transformers, Dark of the Moon. Apparently. Is
that the latest one?
No.
Don't know. Give me another one.
Hail Caesar.
Hail Caesar. Who is in Hail Caesar?
I completely forgot this person was in Hail Caesar.
I mean, I've not even seen Hail Caesar, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known. I've seen it twice. I can't remember.
All right, well, give me another one then.
Burn After Reading.
Frances McDormand.
It is.
Is the link people that have been nominated for awards for their performances this year? Well, female actresses that have been nominated for their performances
specifically Golden Globe Best Actress.
Yeah.
Next person, Matt.
Should this be easy then? If
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Villager, in brackets, uncredited.
No, come on, don't
see if
do
you can
that.
get it based on that. You know what the link is.
Well, so if we had Meryl Streep, Jessica Chastain,
Michelle Williams, Frances McDormand.
Who else got nominated? I can't think who got nominated now. Who won it? Is this the person that won it?
No, Frances McDormand won, I think.
Oh, did she?
Moving on.
Yeah, I was going to say I can't.
Jane Eyre.
No, go on.
Blue Jasmine.
Blue Jasmine. No, go on. I kick myself, probably.
I don't know what to go for. Paddington, And you can have Paddington 2 as well as a freebie.
What? Who's...
I'm trying to think what you might have seen, so I'm trying to pick one.
Yeah, no, I'm... What were the other... What was...
I can't remember what I said.
Give me another one.
I'll get rid of Star Wars Episode 1 because that's not fair.
Yeah, go on, give me another one.
So we can start again from... What did we say?
You said Blue Jasmine, Paddington.
Never Let Me Go.
Never Let Me...
This is a
This
clue.
is a joke.
This is a clue.
What, Never Let Me Go is a clue?
Yeah. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not. It's not. Forget that.
One more.
Forget I said that. Who's that? I thought that was someone else who did that film. I was wrong. Great Expectations.
Give me another.
This is not how it works, Matt.
No, I can't. What? How many have I had?
Have I just picked the wrong... I might have picked that from the wrong thing. No, I haven't. Don't worry about it. Godzilla. 2014.
I can't remember who's in that film. I know Elizabeth Olsen was in it, but...
Do you want me to read out the entire...
Yeah, go on.
Casualty.
Oh, no,
Doctors.
start.
All or Nothing. Tipping the Velvet. Post, in brackets, short. Byron, in brackets, TV movie. Promoted to Glory, TV movie. The Young Visitors, TV movie. The Bunk Bed Boys, TV movie. This is 2004, by the way. Vera Drake. Layer Cake. Fingersmith is a TV series, 2005. 20,000 Streets Under the Sky, TV miniseries, 2005. Little Britain, 2003 to 2005.
What?
Hollow China is a short, 2006. Shiny, Shiny, Bright New Hole in My Heart, TV movie, 2006. H.G. Wells' War with the World, 2006. Man to Man with Dean Lerner, TV series, 2006. The Painted Veil. Cassandra's Dream. W Delta Z. Happy Go Lucky. An Education. Desert Flower. Happy Ever Afters. It's a Wonderful Afterlife. Never Let Me Go. Made in Dagenham. Submarine. Oh, Submarine, that's a good film, isn't it?
Submarine.
Lovebirds, Jane Eyre, Little Crackers, Great Expectations, Room on the Broom, All Is Bright, Blue Jasmine, The Double, The Phone Call, Godzilla, X plus Y, Paddington, How and Why, Stickman, The Hollow Crown, Morty, The Shape of Water, Paddington 2.
Oh yeah, I don't know what her name is. I know exactly who it is, but I don't know what her name is.
Well, you don't get any points on that, and you're not getting points anyway because I read out the whole.
I know,
thing.
yeah. Go on, what's her name?
Sally Hawkins.
Sally Hawkins. Of course.
That's embarrassing for you. But it's good content because everyone got a long time to guess.
Yeah, no, yeah. She's good.
Yeah, that's why she got nominated for a Golden Globe, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that, Shape of Water.
Yeah, I am. Looks like it could be very different.
Del Toro in it's going to be a bit weird.
Yeah.
That's it, Matt.
It's a good episode.
Yes, it's done now. It's finished.
Done, innit?
Lots of films
Time to go
see.
to the pub.
All right, I'm going to go to bed. Pretty late.
It's 10 to 8.
Yeah. I'm going to go Parks and Rec on. I'm on that part of my life where I'm just looping Parks and Rec and then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I just go back to the other one.
Sad, innit?
Yeah.
Sad little existence.
That's what I'm doing now with my life, so that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what happens when you're married? Am I right?
Yeah.
So that's it.
All right. Loads of stuff on the website. So
yeah,
we'll read
loads
all
of
that.
stuff there on the website, which was released. I put it on our newsletter. So remind us to sign up
Very
for that.
exciting.
And you could win a shit toy.
Yeah.
But you might like it for yourself or something, or your children, or you can just have it for nothing, I suppose, and just get some good.
Sell it on eBay.
I would say the email is better than the toy, to be honest. But
yeah. So
you
win-win for you.
You got to give away tat on you, so that's good. Matt's going to be making some videos, so check out the YouTube channel.
Yeah, boys.
This is all linked below as usual. Give us a subscribe on iTunes if you're not already. Leave us a review if you want. That'll be really nice. And just tell people to listen if you want.
Yeah,
that's good.
Do that.
Also, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. You're not saying bye. You're just going to rustle some shit. No, he's not saying bye. He's just going to stare at the thing, being weird. Don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he can hear me. Don't know what he's doing. I can see him, but nothing's happening. This is uncomfortable. It's awkward silence. It's dead air. It's not good. No, he's gone. He's crashed. So I guess I'll see you later, maybe. So yeah, bye.